Welcome, everyone. Um, Monday morning Blissful Flow. We will be moving this morning. I mentioned before the rest of you arrived, there's one position where you may potentially need blocks, and it's where we go from lunge to that standing split, so I really would like that front leg to be straight, even if it means using the blocks and coming to the fingertips or even hands to the upper thigh when we get there. And then the other suggestion to modify one of our poses will be when we do cheetah. And cheetah is the one where we lift the leg up and then bring the shoulders over the hands and contract the core, bring the nose towards the knee. If that becomes too much for you to do it in that version, you can always do it from hands and knees. Meaning you can be in tabletop position instead of down dog, and then you can do it this way, okay? So that's a great way to modify if your energy's plummeting, or maybe you're coming in today and you're wanting to work, but you don't want to work that hard. There is a full moon tomorrow night. We're beginning the month of August with the full moon, and we're ending the month of August with the full moon. And from what I've heard astrologically, and from people I follow online that are more psychically in tune, August is going to be a really doozy. It's going to be a big month of more and more disclosures happening. So with that being said, that has nothing to do with our plan for today. We're going to move on. I'm not going to play Sinead O'Conner's song, Nothing Compares to You, because I think we all know it. And does everybody know it? Okay. It's a beautiful song that really kind of catapulted her to the charts. And when she first came out with that song, I don't know if you remember just the piercing eyes that she had and the unique look she had and her shaved or shorn hair. And I remember at a young, impressionable age, seeing her perform, and I was so drawn to her. I was drawn to her haunting voice, to her appearance, because her appearance was not the regular appearance of a singer. I remember one performance she gave, she was wearing this big billowy dress, and it was very baggy and pure white, and she was wearing black combat boots. And it just looked so cool. And from that moment on, I started wearing combat boots with dresses, the influence of Sinead O'Conner. But I know that you guys are probably aware that she unfortunately passed at a young age of 56 last week. And she was probably one of the first canceled stars back in the day. And I don't know if you remember this, but I wanted to bring it up. She was performing on TV, all the cameras were on her, and she was singing a rendition of the Bob Marley song, War. And during that song, when she gets to a certain point, she holds up a picture of the Pope at that time and starts to rip it and shred it, and she threw the pieces at the camera, and she got booed off the stage. She not only got booed off the stage, that was the beginning of the end of her career, and she really didn't care because she didn't think of herself as a pop star. And she was just trying to bring awareness to the masses about what was happening at that time with the Irish Catholic Church, because she was from Ireland. And at that time, she was discovering a lot of the child and sexual abuse that was happening within the Catholic Church. And so that was her point in presenting it that way. And of course, everybody was appalled. They didn't want to look at it, didn't want to hear it, didn't want to recognize the reality of it. And they were just like, let's just cancel her. But as we know, since that time, more and more information keeps coming out about this type of use within, it's not only the Catholic Church, it's in other areas of our culture. It's rampant all over the world. In fact, last year in France alone, over 300,000 adults came forward claiming that they had been abused as a child within that system. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up because of her passing, but not only because of that, but because of the song, Nothing Compares to You. That is what our theme is going to be today, because nothing compares to you, 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 and so on and so forth. We are all unique expressions of the divine, and we all have a point and purpose in life. We all hold value. We all have gifts and talents and stories that we need to share that can be of influence and impactful to others. So I want you to recognize that today more so than anything. That particular song was actually written by Prince. And Prince's edition of that song, I don't know if this is fact, because I didn't look it up, but I think it came out after his death. I don't think it had been released before then, but I could be wrong about that. But I looked up, what is that song about, since I was going to be bringing it up today? Because when you listen to the song, it sounds like a lost love affair. And it was actually about Prince losing his favorite housekeeper. And what made her so special and unique for him was that she brought in extra touches. She made sure that the refrigerator was always stocked with his favorite beverage. She ensured that fresh flowers were sitting on his piano every week. And when she left to go take care of her family, instead of taking care of him in his house, that's how the song was created. So I thought that was cool, discovering this was about his housekeeper. I don't know if she knew or recognized that it was about her, if you were to really look at the lyrics, because songwriters are really cool like that. They can kind of change the lyrics so it's kind of open-ended with interpretation. That's what makes the song really great. But anyway, I thought I would share that with you today, and I want to also share this before we get started by Oscar Wilde. It's a quote you all know: "Be yourself, everyone else is taken." So with that said, we're going to lie on our bolster for a moment just to really get in touch with our body and breath before we start to stand and move. So with the bolster behind your back, you can roll onto it. You can flip your hands open and turn the eyelids down. Just take a moment to notice the ground beneath your feet. Below your seat. The curve and the contour of the upper body, allowing the belly to open, the chest to rise, and the support of the head. Once you feel what's lying below you, notice the breath coming in from above you. And how you're drawing the breath in through the nose, sending it down into your lungs to expand. Eventually they'll contract, the air will press back out. And just stay with the in and out flow of your breath. Allowing the breath to move you more internally. And then begin to notice any sensation inside your body. Sending some loving attention to the areas that may cause you a little grief. You may have minor ailments. Sending the life force there. And setting your intention to practice from a state of mindfulness as we explore the body. Continue deepening the flow of the breath and begin to acknowledge the wave sensation of the breath as it rolls up towards the heart and back down. Take 3 more deep diaphragmatic breaths here. When you're ready, let's go ahead and bend the knees. Rock and sway them gently side to side. Rolling over to your right side, which will allow more space for the heart. Pushing down through the left hand to come up to sit, just long enough to move that bolster away. And then we'll begin standing after that at the top of the mat. So when you come to stand at the top of the mat, look down at your feet. Line them up on an imaginary straight line, broadening the base, locking in the legs, zipping up through your midriff, and joining your hands to unite prayer position at the heart. Now let's lace the fingers up and tuck the knuckles right up underneath the chin. What we're going to be doing, let's just do the body mechanic first. Open up the hands and the elbows as you tilt your head back to look up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, squeeze the palms together, bring the elbows back in, and drop the chin to be parallel to the floor. Okay, so that's the body mechanic. We're going to inhale to about the count of 6 and exhale to the count of 6. When you're ready, let's begin. Breathe it out. If your lung capacity is not that strong to take it to 6, take it to 4. Remember, you know your body best. So as you're opening up your throat center, giving a little compression to the cervical part of the spine, stay within the safety net of your neck. Do a few more. Two more. Last one. Once you conclude that breath work, you're going to bring your index fingers to join together. You're going to shoot the arms upward, and you're going to hug the head with your arms. Now drill your feet into the ground. Lengthen as you lean to the right side. And breathe in through your left side. Really balloon out your left lung. Opening it up and then emptying it out. Chandrasana crescent moon. Inhale, coming right back to the top, and then exhale, curve over to the left. Find your edge of flexibility here physically, and then obviously check in with your breath. Because if your breath feels trapped, caught, or restrained whatsoever, do less physically so the breath is on point. Inhale, let's rise back up to the top. And then exhale, separate your hands, bend your knees, and sit down and back like chair, Utkatasana. We're gonna do slow breathing here. So the inhale is where we're at. And on the out breath, we're gonna lean forward with the arms back. So breathe out through your mouth. Inhaling up. Exhale. Good. I know sometimes we do this very rapid, but we're slowing it down today. I want you to feel the strength you're gaining in your quads and core. One more. Inhale, back to Utkatasana. We're going to start to do some Surya Namaskaras now. Exhale, straighten your legs, swan dive down to your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen out through the vertebrae. And as you exhale, you're stepping down the mat, rocking forward to lower and hover, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, bloom upward. Exhale, rock and roll back over your toes to downward facing dog. Now really root your hands, slightly dial them away from one another. Feel the openness of the upper arms as you spin out away from your ears. Press through the balls of the feet, sail the seat high up towards the sky. And look at your feet. Only let there be a few inches in between the big toes. All right, here we go. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Now this is where this becomes too much. You can modify hands and knees. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, contract the core and curl in. One more. Inhale, extend it out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale again, lift the left leg up. This time, step the foot all the way forward and up between your hands. All right, so notice for a moment. Notice how the front foot may feel slightly light, but the hands may feel heavy. The back thigh may also feel a little draggy. Okay, so I want you to come to the tips of the middle fingers. I want you to press harder through the left foot, charge into your left hamstrings, and lift up through your back thigh bone. All right, from this activity, we are going to lift and descend through the hips and pelvic floor. So on your in-breath, pull up to the pelvic floor and hips. And as you exhale, drop them lower. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale, sink down. All right, we're just pulsing up and down as we breathe. Two more. Last one. All right, now solidify your hands, step back plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your hips, lengthen your neck out of the shoulders. Up dog. Exhale, draw the navel in, roll back, down dog. Set up your feet properly. And when you're ready, cheetah on the right side, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, nose towards knee. Continue this work. Flow and sync with your breath so you're not rushing. Then step the foot all the way forward and up between your hands. Again, just being aware of what's happening energetically here. And then let's bring a little bit more mindfulness. Tips of the fingers, Push heavily through the right foot, draw up through your back thigh. And then we'll elevate a little bit higher to the pelvic floor. And then exhale, we're gonna sink and surrender down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, dropping it. Pulsing up and down as we breathe. 2 more. Notice that iliopsoas wrapped around that back hip. Good, when you're ready, I want you to focus on your back foot and you're gonna spring it forward to the top of the mat, rising up halfway. Exhale, lower all the way down again, Uttanasana, be here for a moment. Finding equanimity between the legs and feet. Ensuring that you are releasing the spine, the crown of your head. Feeding the energy and blood flow towards the thymus gland, thyroid gland, pituitary gland, pineal gland. Firm hears you hold. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Nothing compares to me. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms up. Utkatasana, and exhale, Samasthiti, hands to prayer position at the heart. All right, we're gonna continue this flow. Inhale, bend the knees, arms lifting, Utkatasana. Exhale, tip forward over straight legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, create some space between the 2 halves of the body. Exhale, you're stepping back to plank and immediately dropping into that low push-up. Inhale, glide through Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, brought back Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be established here first. Replaying your breath if you lost track of it. All right, here we go. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, extend that right leg like an extension of a tailbone. Push away from your hands. Exhale, shoulders over hands as you draw back in, cheetah. Inhale, power 3 as you lift up and contract and curl. Inhale, 1 more, sail it over. And exhale, step the foot forward and up. All right, this is where we're gonna start to move. Inhale, straighten the front leg. This is where if you need blocks, bring them in. Before we do anything else, I want you to drop your head, look at your back toes. They should be facing you instead of turned out to the side. If that's the case, notice your left hip. If you're unsure, roll the left hip forward towards your blocks. Square it up. Lunge the knee. Stack it with precision over the ankle. And then inhale. Standing form of split. Exhale, lunge the knee. Good again. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, see if it's possible to bow over and down towards that front knee. Sustaining. Good, now let's relunge that knee. Let's step the blocks to the side. Let's plant the palms down and step it to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart back in. Exhale, take it back. Down dog. Gazing in the direction of the toes or beyond. Today, I want you to celebrate your own unique self. Remembering nothing compares to you. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, extend the limbs. Exhale, cheetah. Power through. One more extension so that you can exhale, swing the foot through. Determine if you want those blocks or not. If you do use the blocks, you don't want to keep them out here because you're not bone stacking. So think bone joint stacking from your shoulders to your hands. Slowly push down to the ball of the left foot and straighten out the front leg. Drop your head, look at your right toes. Hopefully they're facing you. If not, turn them in. If you're unsure whether or not your hips are square, roll the right hip towards the blocks at the front of the rib. All right, here we go. Let's lunge the knee. Inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, lunge the knee. Continue. Good, this time straighten it out. And maybe see if it's in your wheelhouse to fold down. Remember, everything I say is a suggestion, it's not a command. This is how you personalize your practice. This is how you stay unique according to your own needs, honoring your own body. That is yoga. Affirming here, give myself over into the flow of grace. Let's lunge the knee. We're going to spring that back foot forward. Lift the hands, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, release belly, chest, and face. This is a good replenishment to the face and the sensory organs. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms pull up. Utkatasana. Exhale, Sadhusthi feet into United Arms. All right, doing good? All right, we're going to keep this rolling. Inhale, Utkatasana. Be sure to take a break when or if you need it. Exhale, flow down over straight legs. In, halfway up. Out, we're stepping back. Building up our body strength as the elbows slip into the side ribs, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, roll it back over your toes. Form an intimate relationship with your breath. Let that be under your control. All right, here we go. Inhale, the right leg's gonna lift. Exhale to cheetah. Continue. Listen to your body. If you need to sink to your knees for this exercise or leave it out, that's okay. Inhale, last one, lift that leg up, and then as you exhale, step the foot forward and through. All right, we're gonna spin down the back foot. I would like you today to bring the block in. And you can have it on the outside of your right foot. But I want you to open out that knee and hip. So it's kind of touching or close to that arm. And then when you're ready, you're gonna sweep the left arm skyward. Now, if that block is too low, if that is too much, you can transfer your elbow and stack it on that right knee. So know that that is a great way to modify your position. Spread the fingers wide on that upper hand so they're nice and energized. And then turn that left palm and see if you can carry that arm across your ear. Press heavily through your left heel. Reach out through the left fingertips. side angle. Exhale, bring the left hand down, press through the right foot, spin off your back heel, bring your hands to prayer position at your heart, and you're gonna hover over the front thigh. If you need to stay here, because this may be difficult to balance as you are, but if you can maintain the balance, twist to your right. It's called a revolving twist when the belly spins towards that front leg. Breath will help you to maintain a state of calm, focus during your practice. Exhale, unwind. Close the blocks. Step it back. Lower down. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, so notice these standing poses are helping us to build some heat. On your next in-breath, left leg lifts. The core is where we stoke our inner fire. So let's go back to cheetah. Inhale, open up. Exhale, contract and curl in. Round 3. On this one, we lift the leg. We swing the foot through. We establish footing on the back foot by rolling the whole sole to touch the mat. Open out your left thigh, touch that left arm. Reach the right arm out and up towards the heavens above. All right, this is also where you can pick up. Maybe your wrists are getting tired or achy. So this is another great reason to use the elbow. Nothing compares to you. Say internally, nothing compares to me. Then take that top arm and reach it across your ear. Spin the pinky down, thumb up. See if you can accentuate that stretch on the right side bar. Good, exhale. Spin off your back heel, come back to the ball of the back foot. Cover your hands and torso. Choose to be here, setting your drishti or gaze at one spot, or rotate left. If we can learn how to master the breath, we can learn how to master the energy. When we learn to master the energy, we become the master of our lives. Only we can do that as individuals. All right, unwind from that twist. Back foot's gonna spring forward. Open up halfway. Release. Feels like a little relief when we get here, doesn't it? This is also one of the cooling poses, right? Those cheetahs are stoking the inner flame, but here we can cool back down so that fire doesn't get out of control. Inhale, bend the knees, lift up, Utkatasana. And then exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we got one more sun sal. We have it in us. Okay, inhale. Utkatasana chair. Exhale, flow down over straight legs. Inhale, little pick me up. Exhale, chaturanga, build that upper body straight. Inhale, glide through. Flexibility in the spine. Exhale, use core control to roll back. All right, we're gonna start on this left side this time. Left leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Keep it rolling. Inhale again. All right, exhale, be mindful of this, and you may have to look my direction to follow. Your left leg is going to stretch through your right limbs to the wood floor. We spin down to the sole of the right foot. We anchor left hand, right foot, reach that right arm up. All right, this is already hard. So if you need to lower the left knee to modify, great, take a break. All right, if you feel like, oh, I love it, Robbie, and I want more, you can pick up the left foot, take it in your right hand and stretch it out in front of you. Now, the first time I ever did that, I didn't know what I was doing, and I felt like I pulled a muscle in my vagina. I am not kidding you. So ladies, be careful. It was a weird sensation I'd never felt before. Just being real. Okay, when you're ready, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. All right, we need a wrist break. Let's take the hands up and lower them down alongside our feet. Let's take child's pose to regain the quality of breath. And then, of course, this is a great time too, if you need a sip of water, feel free to take advantage of that. You do want to stay hydrated in the extreme heat that we've been experiencing here in the South. Surf the wave of the breath as it moves up and down your back. All right, here we go. Inhale, extend your arms. Rock up, hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. We got another side to do here, so lift your right leg. Exhale, cheetah. Keep it going. So remember, on this round, the right foot slides through the left limbs. We roll down to the left foot. Now, if you need to modify, bring that right knee under the hip. Do this variation of your side plank. If you want a little more, take your left hand to your right foot. Send it out, balance and breathe. Spin out. Plank. All right, push up, down dog. And we're going to walk the feet forward towards your hands. Because I don't want another disaster. I don't know about you. Lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, plow down towards your thighs. Let your neck go. Bent knees, inhale, arms lift. Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Always was harder on a Monday morning. We're gonna try an arm balance. Now, just because I'm instructing this doesn't mean I'm expecting you all to get into it. It doesn't mean you have to even attempt the full pose, but at least try the lifting and shifting, and I'll explain what that means. So when we come into, well, let me show you from this angle. So I think this may be a little better. We're going to be coming into Utkatasana. Now notice I'm bringing my feet a little closer together than I typically would for this pose, because we're going to take a twist. Now, when we take the twist, this is prepping us for the arm balance. But if you are tired of having weight bearing on your hands, just be here. You're getting a lot of benefits here. If you want to try, what does it feel like? Can I even get my hands to the floor on this side? That's when you place your hands down. Now, I can't get my right hand all the way down yet. But if I'm going to go into an arm balance, do you see the weird angle my shoulders are with my hands? I need the bone stacking, right? So I'm going to lift my heels
so that my shoulders come more to the hands. I lengthen through the neck, look out. Lean forward to find the fulcrum of balance, and then flex and float the feet. And then bring the feet back down. I'll come back, and then we attempt the other side. So again, if you need to stay in the twist, stay in the twist. If you want to try the hands, try the hands. Or lift and shift your weight. You don't necessarily have to come all the way into the pose. All right, let's try it. Feet a little closer, arms up, hands to prayer, rotate right. This is side crow, by the way. This is just one way to get into it. All right, now let's go ahead. The hands need to be shoulder distance apart. Let's lean towards the hands. Crouching lower. And then eventually, maybe, lean forward, flex and float the feet. Don't really get to stand very long, because your wrist may be a little fatigued after warming up for all this. But we do want warm-ups to prepare. All right, heels down, arms up. Any questions before we go to the second side? No? Okay. Second side, twist left. Maybe this is plenty. This is enough. Nothing compares to you. Or hands down, shift your weight, stack the knees and feet. Lean forward, but look out. And fly. Exit cautiously. Shake out your hips. All right. It's time to roll down. That was our peak pose. Ta-da! Hands to prayer. Inhale, arms up. Look up. Separate your hands and then back bend. Exhale. Release. Step back, down dog. No more vinyasas, I promise you that. All right, we're gonna bring the left knee and chin behind the hands. You got it, so warm the air, Don. And then slide your right leg back. You want your hip points square. So if you're all the way over here, or if your knee's out in front, you need to regroup. If you need to modify, we have a perfect model up here. You can be on your back, left ankle over the knee. All right? Let's go ahead and follow down the middle. We're gonna saturate the hip joints here. And juice them back up. As we age, we start to dry out the joints, especially menopausal women. Sometimes working with the connective tissues can actually allow us to build more flexibility. It's not all about the muscles. Next inhalation, I want you to gently start to lift. As you start to lift, you are going to lean over to that left hip because the right leg is not going to come forward. It's actually going to move to the right side onto the wood floor. And you're sitting in half of a wide angle pose. So come down to both sides of your seat. Okay, so make sure the buttocks is firmly planted on the ground. Make sure the toes are turned up, your ankles flexed, your knees tightening, your quads are defining, and lift up through your chest, and then walk it out with your hands. Make sure that your seat doesn't peel off the floor. Keep it anchored down. Keep the back of your right thigh pressing down, even if that means you're not going as low. Keep the form. And if you want the blocks maybe, to come in, stack the arms on or whatever, you can use them. So lots of times when I'm creating these themes for the classes, I'm just paying attention to what's showing up in life. And if I see something that is interrelated somehow, I feel like that's what's happening with the collective, right? With the Sinead O'Conner and that song being one of her biggest hits. But also I was listening to a podcast last week that my boyfriend had done, and he's a successful musician, and they were asking him, like, how did you get into the music scene? How did you get into the session room? What was happening at the time that you moved here? Who were your influences? And his answer was, that he was influenced by all the great guitarists, especially the one that was getting on all the albums here in Nashville. So he was wanting to play like that guy. He did want to hone in and learn those skills, but at the same time, when he got into the session world, he knew he had to create his own lane. He knew that he needed to stand apart and not just mimic all these other great guitarists. So he used his skills, his talents, what made him unique. And he was the guy that brought slide guitar into country music from his blues playing, So basically, he found what made him unique, what he was good at, and he ran with it. So when we're on the next pigeon pose, I want you to contemplate what it is that you're really good at, what it is you're really unique with, and are you running with it? That's your lane. So when you're ready, gently start to back your way out. You're going to take your right hand and cup a hold of your left foot or shin. Your left arm's going to reach up and you're going to sway over towards the straight leg. Inhale, rise back up. Move the blocks away. Plant your palms. Spin your knees back behind you, table. Curl the toes, pop up, down dog. We'll do that sequence to the other side. Remember, we're cooling down. Right knee and shin behind the hands. Left leg extends back behind. Obviously, take the modification if you need it. Maybe your ankle, knee, or hip requires it. And then fold down the middle. I'm going to read you this, and then I want you to contemplate what I mentioned, what makes you unique, whether or not you're running with it. You are enough and shouldn't waste your time copying or trying to be like anybody else. Instead, be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Let's get into the back area. We'll lean to the right side, slide the left leg over, and then it may be a little awkward when you get here. So just rearrange so that your sit bones are firmly planted down, your spine's elevated and vertical to the ground. Your leg and foot is fired up, and then you fold with the straight back. I'm changing out my final inversion because I got you so excited that the peak pose was done. I was planning on doing a headstand, but that's another peak pose. So we're gonna do waterfall instead. Does that sound good? Waterfall is better for the full, well, they're both good for the full bend. We'll slowly start to back out. We'll do the side bend first. Grab a hold of that right foot or shin with your left hand. Sweep over towards the straight leg. A version of Pavarita Janushrishasana. And then inhale, build up. All right, if you just really want that headstand, because I already teased you with it, do it. But if you want to join me in waterfall, bring a block with you. This is the easier inversion if you're wondering which to do. I'll instruct waterfall. So we'll be on the back with the block in hand with the knees bent. We'll press through the feet, tuck and lift the hips, and slide the block below the sacrum, the low end of your back. And then from here, once you feel settled on the block, it's in the right spot, you can float the feet in the air. So there's other variations of this pose. There's even a way to do it more actively. But this is enough. And you are enough. So the other thing, this is silly, and I can't even believe I'm admitting to this because I'm not really into pop culture as much the older I get. And but I have teenagers. And they went to see Barbie and they liked it. And then Ella was like, I want to see it again. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. So I actually went to go see that movie, and I am not a girly girl. But there was a theme through that movie, and I'm not going to give it away, about being unique. Even at the very end, this is the only thing I'll say about it, even at the end, Ken is wearing a sweatshirt and it says, I'm enough. Playing on that affirmation, I'm enough. Nothing compares to you. You are enough. Sometimes we get caught up in our minds like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? What if just being alive and being authentic is all we have to do? Let's land the feet. Let's tuck and lift away from the block. Roll down to your back and hug the knees in. All right, this is where we're going to line up for Shavasana. So if you want to grab that bolster and slide it underneath your thighs and knees for a little support, you can. If you grabbed a towel and want to drape it over your eyes, you may.
You could really set up in any pose of your liking as long as it's relaxing. Because we're done with the active part of the practice. The only thing we want to maintain focus with is being an ever watchful observer. Noticing sensation, noticing thought waves, but without attaching to them. I want you to place your left hand over your heart and your right hand on top of that. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Take a deep breath into your heart and a slow breath out. And bend your knees. Roll away to one side. Take your time coming up for a formal seat. Bring your hands together to prayer. Just notice what you feel from the inside out. I hope you take this message to heart. That nothing compares to you.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thanks, you guys, so much for dropping into class today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day and week. Any questions, catch me after class.